which essay we've studied previously?
Sir,
Bridges. Bridges.
no, of Truth by Francis Bacon.
Of truth.
Okay, okay. Because this class is of non-fiction prose, so this is Birches is a poem, not an essay, and it is not Birches, it is Birches. Okay, of truth. So can someone please tell me that what, according to Bacon, truth is? Pizza, Pizza Jameel. Unmute your mic. Pizza, are you there? Where are executioners?
सर इधर यूं घर कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रही है तो पीछे शोर है बहुत ज़्यादा. Truth is all about practical knowledge and
So,
experience of Francis Bacon, based on lives of people, beliefs of people. Truth give limitation and boundaries to people mind, make place people to think independently as well as in acting. Philosophers who believe in this philosophy have died, but many of them remain here, but they do not know how truth it is. Uh, it is not only difficult or labor to speak truth, but if someone is not speaking truth, if you find difficulty in speaking truth, the second possibility is lie. But that will not be true lie, but corrupt love of lie itself.
okay, thank you. Thank you. It's fine.
Another school that what
Sana, it's yeah, Pizza, you are done with your topic. Sana, are you? Sana, are you there? Unmute your mic. So the executioners. Where are the executioners? Tuba and Mersalan. You may sharpen your sword's blade to cut the people in half. It was a metaphor, by the way. So the students who will not be speaking, so they will be marked as absent. You already know the rule. So Sana, she is not present, I think so. So she must be marked absent. Zahra Iqbal. Zahra Iqbal. Are you there? Tuba, are you there? Yes, Zahra. Why don't you speak early if I say so? Okay, so Francis Bacon explains something like gives a philosophy about about the truth. That what is truth actually? Do you think that the truth, according to his point of view, will be as validating, will be as delightful as he proves it, as he explains it? Yes, I'm asking to you, Tara. Are you getting my voice? because we cannot get, we are not unable to listen you. Okay, then yes, Tuba. Yeah, tell me something about that. We know that he talks about the intermixing of lie and truth. So what does this mean by saying this? That okay, truth can be told with the mixing of lie also.
I didn't get your question.
It said that what does he say about intermixing of truth and lie? And he gives an example. He gives a, I would say that a reference to another thing. So what is that, and what does he mean by this?
Sorry, sir, I don't know.
Thank you. Yeah, hijab. Sayyida hijab.
Yes, sir. Francis Bacon talks about lies. He says that there is creativity, creativity lies, that the modern people are not as truthful as their ancestors, and they do not take value of truth as their ancestors did. And truth gives player when lie is added to it. And you also have told us theory of skepticism, which says that the absolute knowledge of anything is impossible. So it is believed that uh, it is not truth that matters, but when uh, lie is added to it, it is more creative and more interesting. So there is no absolute truth, but lies are important. So this is it.
Good. Salman Arif. Is my voice not clear for only one student, or am I not clear for everyone? Yeah. Jab, Tuba, Arsalan. Is my voice not clear?
Yes,
I
it's
think
clear.
it is clear then. Sara, I think this is something with your internet then. My voice is clear because yes, sometimes it occurs, some distortion occurs, some noise occurs. You know that internet is not perfectly good in this area, but I think that it is fine most of the time. I noticed one thing that only a few students who have been showing their progress in since the fifth semester, they are the same. Like they are only the people who are participating. The other people they are not participating, even though they are not care about that whether they something know about something or not. Might be this online system has made you people totally released about the worries and the tensions of not taking it up to the mark. But I think that if you are studying this, then that you must be studying. I know that you are not studying properly, and only a few students are following the instructions and they are studying. Otherwise, majority of the students they are not. You know that this subject, it is not as much easy as we are done already with the subjects. So it needs explanation, it needs proper consultants, it needs proper searching of the ideas and the relevant references. So that is the reason that you must pay your proper attention on that. Because if someone is taking to pen pain to teach you people, so then I think that you must give something in return. Even though my thought is not fine, it is hurting me too much. Okay, then we can start by sharing the slide screen. The next essay that we are going to study, I just need to know first of all that what is your understanding about a very severe subject, that is death. Like all of you, you are open to discuss this idea of death with me. Okay, what do you feel about the death, and what are the things that are so that you feel scary about death? Is this the death itself that you feel scary about, or is this the, you can say, the other arrangements or the procession or the funeral, the face of the dead body? So what is exactly the thing that actually really, I would say, frightens you? Yeah, anyone?
The life after death is the most frightening thing.
Sorry, I didn't get.
The life after death is the most frightening thing for me, I think.
I think that that is only the thing that we must do, isn't it? Because you know that you are done with the, because the pain, actual pain is actually only the death. And if you are gone through the death, so if you feel so that okay, after life that is more painful, then yeah, it is your opinion, it can be wrong or right. Okay, good. Anyone else? Yes, anyone else?
Yes, sir. Sir, death is the end of life and the end of amusement and different fascinating things that we are enjoying in our life. So, death means the end of life and the end of enjoyment.
I'm asking that what is the scariest thing when someone dies? What is the scariest thing? Yes, anyone, please. You know that we all the time have these happenings in our families and in relatives. Sometimes as a onlooker, we are looking at the bodies. Like, what is the scary thing that you feel about that? Okay, this is the thing that really frightens me when I will look at a body or when I will look at a dead person. So what is that thing?
So I think for me, leaving your loved ones is the most horrified thing. That is the most
Yeah,
difficult thing about.
okay, that is also a good thing. Yeah. And rather, it was a little bit philosophical, we know that, but yeah, it is also fine. Because you know that sometimes the arrangements. Yeah, anyone else? There was someone who actually wanted to talk.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. And first of all, I think the word death is scariest.
And yeah, it is also scary in itself. And yeah, and
And next, when we see the person that we felt the food from, this is the scariest thing.
what is that? I didn't get you properly.
When you- uh, when we listen about the person that is that we feel from, and
Okay, I think that you were saying that when we listen about the person who is just died, and so it is also the news, you can say, about the dead one, that whom you loved so much, and after few moments you were with him or with her, but after some time you knew that that person is past, that person is dead. Yeah, that is another thing that feels you sometimes or gives you a shock. Yeah, so shock is I think that that is also one of the part of this thing. Yes, anyone else? What makes you so scary to think about that?
Grave
Sir,
is
Death.
also
here's
one
an
scariest thing. Grave.
Yes, Hijab, what were you saying?
So grave. Grave also scares us.
Yeah, grave also scares us. Yeah, it is also because when we see that the depth of the grave, and when we are saying that the person, they are people are digging, or then we feel that okay, one day we also have to l- lie in this grave, and then so this is also one of the scariest things. Yeah, it is. Yeah, anyone else?
Sir, the regrets that we will have in our heart for the person who will be dead, that will be the most scariest thing. Then we will realize, we should have done that thing. We should not have done that thing. So the regret that will end up after the death of the beloved one, that will be the most scariest thing.
Yeah, it is also. It is also one of the causes, that regret or remorse that you couldn't have done something for that person who just died. So that is also one of the things. Yeah, but I would say that most importantly, that what are the scariest things? Because these are the regrets, and as Sarah talked about, that is also, I would say, a more philosophical approach towards life. That definitely we are in great, um, in sorrow, in great pains when someone leaves us. But I am talking about at that moment when you actually feeling scary. So I know that sometimes you feel that that person is, when he that or she is alive, that person is with you like a family member, and after that, when you see that person is no more alive, that person is lying on the funeral pyre, and that person is not moving his hand, not his head, not blinking his eyes. So at that time we are feeling that how this happens suddenly. That person was talking to me in the morning, and now that person is no more with us, and that person is lying on the pyre, on the funeral pyre. So this is, I'm talking about after that death. What happened that feels you so scary about it? Yeah, anyone else? Well, I'm taking some of the.
sir, the helplessness of the deceased person.
Mm, I think that these are the things that that do not make you scary. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, but you are participating. You are doing it well. Anyone else?
So basically, the image that we have in our minds that is related to that image is more scary.
Mhm. Yeah, it is the image sometimes, and how this image is created. Mehmet, can you tell?
Sir, by whipping faces, convulsions, and the sighs, we feel death more scary.
Thank you. So
Sir, one thing what I
I would say that do not go for internet now. I know that you are very much good in searching the things from the internet, but do not go for internet right now, because this is online. This is one-on-one discussion, and I will so that you must say about your things. That will the best thing to talk about right now, because you know that literature talks about our real lives. So we will say that whether that truth, sorry, whether that death concept of death or the concept of the truth really belong to our lives or not. So this is what we are actually doing here. Yeah, Uzair.
Yes, sir. One thing that make us scared about that we don't know about the time of any person, and when we see a deceased person, and we uh, forced to think that I don't know when the death will come to me, and this thing make us scared. I think.
I think that this thing makes us alive. This thing gives us hope. Because if you are, what I feel about this, okay, it is your idea, your opinion, but what I feel that when we have a fixed time ahead of us, okay, for example, if I have to die on this certain day, on this certain day, what I'll be doing, I'll be all the time thinking about that day. Oh no, the time is coming and coming quickly, so I am just going I think that is the most scariest thing. Not this thing that okay, you will die some moment without any fixed date or without any deadline. So that will give you a hope, definitely, because there is in that mystery there is hope hidden. One portion of hope is also hidden in that mystery because you don't know anything about when this can happen with you. That doesn't make you scary. But the other thing that if you have a fixed end, a fixed date of your death, this is my opinion that that will make you more scary. But if your opinion is this is also right. Yes, anyone else? So what are the other things that makes you that make you think horrible and horrific about thinking of death and about the arrangements of the death?
So death is itself horrible.
Yeah, we know that it is horrible.
So when we hear the news that someone is died, then we remember that one day we will be die. So this make us scary.
It is also the case. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Anyone else? Lehrasif.
Sir, I think acrophobia, fear of heights, and fear of deep water is also scary thing.
That is only, I would say that a precautionary. That this is only, you can say sometimes feel that okay, if we fall from the height and we will die. So that is only a precaution. If you don't do that, then there is no scare in that. There is no fright in that. There are some people who are actually going over the tops of the mountains and they are actually, you can say, enduring this thing. They are making themselves to face these challenges and face the heights of the mountains. So it is up to us that we can actually make our bodies or make ourselves not to fright ourselves, not to fear from the heights or from the deep waters. So this is upon us. Yes, Lehrasid.
Sir, we do not give any happiness of the beloved person.
You're not
It
clear.
is so temporary.
This is not clear. Sufyan. Like you seem, Sufyan and many others, you seem very active on WhatsApp, sharing the life experiences, sharing the experiences of, sharing the philosophies of the lives and the deaths and love as well. How you don't speak? Yeah, pick it up. Sufyan, what do you think about this? What is the most scariest thing?
Sir, am I clear?
Yeah.
Sir, the scariest thing about death is responsibility. As we know, we have to take the responsibilities of a dead person. So we never confess about this, but we are scary about these things. We actually have grave for our own loss, not for the dead person.
Okay, this can also be. Yes, anyone else?
Yes, sir. I think that the change of identity that has happened to the dead person is like before dying, we call the our beloved with the different names, but after that we just call it dead body, and everyone is hurry to make the things fix up so that we can dig him as soon as possible. And this is one of the scariest thing that the old people love him and now they are also in a hurry to just make dig him up as soon as it is possible. So this is something that feels you that yes, there is something that will never come back.
Exactly. Exactly. This is the thing. Because when you were calling that thing, that person as a relation, and after that you are calling as a dead body. So you are just all the time in a hurry to bury that body of your loved ones. Yeah, this is, yeah, it is one of the most scariest things. So this is what we can. Okay, what I think about and what Francis Bacon thinks about this thing, that if we talk about death only, death comes on everybody. We know that this is the reality of life. That death comes, and after that, some people believe that there will be another life, and some people don't believe on the afterlife. Like the Stoics, they don't believe on the afterlife. The existentialists, they don't believe on the afterlife. The nihilists, they don't believe on the afterlife. And there are many other people and philosophers and the groups of the people that they don't believe on the afterlife because they think so the life that we are enjoying here, that is everyone. And on the other side, there are different philosophies like Epicurean philosophies and many of the others that they do not believe on the afterlife. They are believing on this is what we have to enjoy. Okay, now we have to talk about that. Yes, death itself is a scary word, but when it comes on a person, so that person knows the pain of it. Otherwise, we can also just make ourselves a little bit scary that okay, we can also be the victim one day, and then we will also be taken one day. Okay, this is the first and sorry, second thing. The third thing is when you see the dead body of the deceased person wrapped in the in the shroud, in that white cloth, in that shroud, and then there is, you can say, that special cot, the bed you can call it, that special cot that is made for only the dead people, that make you sometimes scary. And after that, the people who are actually wrapped in that white cloth, that makes you scary. Even though the black, the black, you can say that shawl, sometimes you can call it that it is used for the ramification for that deceased person. It also makes you sometimes fearful. And on the other side, you know that we see that the person who is actually dead, that person sometimes when uh, if he has met his death with an accident, and sometimes if that person is bleeding from the nose, from the head, from the mouth, so that also makes us scary most of the time. And if that person just died natural death, so this also makes us, because the pale face, the yellowish face of that person, it looks that okay, that person was just you can say lively an hour before or one day before now, but that person is can speak no more, can talk no more, can say no more. These are all the things. It means the arrangements. They are making us scary most of the time. You see that if a person sometimes, like I'm just comparing this thing, might be this is true or this is not, you feel that there are two types of death, if there are two types of death. Otherwise, there are many types of death. What are the two types of death? The one is very scary and other is not. What is scary? For example, if you know that after 10, 15 or 6 or 20 days, any culprit or any guilty man has to be hanged for his crime, so that you know that those 20 days till the death of that person or till the hanging of that person, every day and every night will be a moment of death for that person. And that person will be thinking about, so that is the real horrific situation for a person, because he knows that the death is coming every day, after every minute. I am reducing towards the time, I'm lacking of the time, and the death is coming. So that is another horrific thing. On the other side, if a person who is actually going into an aeroplane somewhere and suddenly death came to that person, we feel that that is not more horrific for a person, because that person didn't know that after 1 second I will die. But on the other side, if person knows that after 20 days or after 15 days I will die, that is more horrific thing. This is my opinion, I would say. So there are different categories, Francis Bacon says, about of the death suit. Some people die of vanity, of their dignities. Some people die of deceptions and guilties, and some people die of because of some other people. They are actually gave their sacrifices, especially for the kings, for their I would say for their emperors, for their kingdoms. As you know, the soldier sacrifices his life for the country. So there are different levels and I would say categories of death. And what he talks about, we will see today that what death is all about. But one thing that he just keep on saying, he says that death does not make us too much scary, but it is the arrangements only. As Hijab was talking about, that the grave itself, whenever we are going to the graveyard, when we look at any grave, that is silent enough. If there are some flowers on it, they are totally, I would say, they are out of colors, they are out of fragrance, and we look at that how those graves are actually in the hot weather. Sometimes they are in the rains. So there are different climates that they remain over there all the time, and we feel that how they can live over there, even though we know that the body is not there anymore, because the body will be consumed, body will be decomposed. But we know that otherwise that they are here. That is the reason we go and pray for them. And if we do not have the belief that that is someone is not there, then we will never go to graveyards to say any prayers. It means that we have these arrangements, we have these things that make us most of the time scary about the death. And this is the same that Francis Bacon talks about. Let me share my screen with you people so you can see. Yeah, it is of truth. Yeah, I think that last time this is what we have studied. And today we are going to study of death. Yes, so death is just there. Do not feel scary about it. So men fear death as children fear to go in the dark. Men fear death as children fear to go in the dark, and as that natural fear in children is increased with tales, so is the other. So now he will be actually bringing us towards the subject that what makes us death so scary. So now he is just actually constructing a plot, a background of it. He says that men fear death as the children fear to go into the dark. Because you know that the children, they are most of the time, they start crying whenever they have to go in the corridors, in the dark corridors, and in the rooms. They said, no, we are not going over here. So is the other. Certainly the contemplation of death as the wages of sin and passage to another world is holy and religious. You can say that the contemplation of death is like the wages of sin and the passage to another world. It seems not as much, I would say, horrible, but it is a holy and religious thing, and we all know that after we die, we have to go to another world, that is heaven or hell. It depends on the sins or it depends on the good doings of the person. But the fear of it as a tribute due onto nature is weak. It means that it is a sacred thing. Francis Bacon says that death is a sacred thing. And to go into another world, that can be heaven or hell, that is also having a religiously and important and a sacred act. There is no doubt. But what is the thing? The tribute due onto nature is weak. The fear actually. The fear of the death is weak. The fear of the death is, you can say, fearful or frightening. Otherwise, we all know that this is a sacred journey. आपने देखा इसकी religious importance भी है. अल्लाह ताला भी कहता है, बाकी हमारे prophets भी कहते हैं, और दूसरे religion में भी ऐसा ही है, जो कि जितने भी जो religions है जिनका belief है इस चीज पे, heaven, hell and all the other things. It means that this is not a scary thing at all. Death क्या है? Definitely we have to move our bodies, we have to move our souls. We are not dying actually. This is only a temporary period, time period that we are staying over here, and we are actually examined over here. But after, you can say, a temporary time period, we have to go to our real creator or in the real world. So that it means that death is not a scary thing. It is a religious act because you are passing from. But people make it so. People make it so. But the fear is very weak. Yet in the religious meditations, there is sometimes mixture of vanity and superstition. In religious meditations, in religious approaches, the mixture of vanity and superstition can be seen. What is mixture of vanity and what is mixture of superstition? You know that sometimes, people have some, I would say, superstitious beliefs about the death. Okay, that what will happen. Like we know that we have some religious importance of it as well, like the punishment. Like after you die in the grave, then you will be reckoned over there. Your wrongdoings and your right doings, they will be reckoned over there, and then there will be an angel. That angel will be beating you up, so that sometimes you know that how the person will go into more and more deeper into the grave with the punishment, and sometimes the grave will actually models, or you can say that confine the body of that person, and so like you can see that there are different things that we can see that the people tell in that what will happen in the grave. Sometimes you see that your muscles will be crumped, your body will be crumped, your ribs, they will be crumped. So we see that these are something more horrific about this thing. And sometimes you know that there is any vanity associated with this. And what is vanity? Like when someone is actually going on a sacred act, if that person dies, so we call it that person is Ghazi, Shaheed. Like Ghazi is another sense, but we can say it as a martyr or as a Shaheed. So it has a religious vanity too, because there is a respect in that death. And on the other side, we have some superstitions also. And some superstitions including, you can say that some people say that there is no life after this death. So whatever you have to do this on this life. There are some superstitions and vanities also. You shall read in some of the prayers books of mortification that a man should think with himself what the pain is if he have but his fingers and pressed or tortured. And you know that there are some prayers books of mortification, a kind of penance or remorse. So what that mortification is, he says, Francis Bacon, that in some books that you can analyze that what can be the pain of the death. If you really want to do that, you can just press the fingertip, the end of the finger, off with another hand, with another finger, and if you really do that, you cannot bear that pain. You can also do that by holding the small finger of left hand with the right fingers. You can press the end of your finger. Press it so hard, and then you will feel the pain. He says that even if you cannot feel the pain by pressing your one finger's end, and on the other hand, thereby imagine what the pains of death are. So what about the pain of the death then? Even though you cannot press your finger's end, he says that when the whole body is corrupted and dissolved, what about that? So your whole body will be decomposed. It will be, the whole body will be dissolved. It will be disintegrated. So what about that part? When the whole body is corrupted, when many times death passed with less pain than the torture of a limb. So then the torture of a limb, only the pressing of a finger will be nothing. What about that pain? When you will be gone through this process many times. You know that sometimes you see that we have been given punishment when, like, if we are dead, so then we will again be resurrected, and again we will be given punishment, again we will be resurrected, we will be dead again. So then this process is that, then you can imagine that what it is going to be like. So then he says that when many times death passes with less pain than the torture of a limb. For the most vital part are not the quickest of sense. We cannot feel that pain. We cannot feel the pain of that death, when that will have to go through our bodies not one time but many times. And even though for the most important parts are not the quickest of sense, and we are not any body part is exempted from this. Every body part is actually will be through this process again and again. And by him that spake only as a philosopher and natural man, it was well said. So there was a philosopher, and who said? He said that groans and convulsions and a discolored face and friends weeping and blacks and obsequies and the like chew death terrible. So these are the things you can say. The arrangements of the death, they make us.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
वो आपकी जो स्लाइड है उसको थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट पे कर दें, वो कंप्लीट नजर नहीं आ रहा पेज.
Left. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so the philosopher said that what makes this death more horrific? Groans and convulsions. Convulsions are, you can say, when someone talks about the muscular contraction, as we were already talking about with the punishments. Your muscular is contracted. Your musculars, they are no more active. They are no more lively, you can say. Your body is totally dead. It is, and a discolored face. When there is nothing on your face, you know that a lively person, he has different colors on the face. But when a person dies, what happens? That person's color is totally pale and yellow. Discolored face. And friends weeping. This is another thing. And the blacks. You know that blacks, sometimes in Christianity, all the people are wearing blacks, so that is another thing. But sometimes we know that we are keeping a black cloth on the dead body. There are some, you can say, ayahs, so there are some verses of Holy Quran are written on that black cloth. So that blacks and obsequies, and our obsequies, you can say the funeral pyre. Okay, that funeral pyre or the funeral procession or the funeral arrangement, sometimes you can call it obsequies and the like. Shew means show death terrible. So these are all the arrangements. Like people are crying, friends are crying, and the discolored face of that person who is dead or diseased, and the black clothing on the shroud of that person, on the dead body of that person, and the person is lying on that dead bed. So all these things, they make us, they make us more terrible, and the death terrible too. It is worthy the observing that there is no passion in the mind of man so weak, but it nails and masters the fear of death. So there is nothing in the mind of a man that is so weak, but only one concept, that is of the death. That is very weak, I would say. And therefore, death is no such terrible enemy when a man has so many attendants about him that can win the combat of him. Otherwise, there is nothing so scary, so frightful, other than the man's mind, and the weak concept of the death in the mind of the person. That is actually, you can say, the worst enemy of a man. क्योंकि जो weakness होती है mind में कि that मर जाना है एक ना एक दिन होगा, so that make the person so weak in his approach. Otherwise, जैसे पहले बताया उसने, death is not a scary thing. Death is only your transformation of your body into another world. This is only death. And we also believe that being a religious people, you know that all of you also believe on this thing, that we will die one day and our souls will be transferred into another world. लेकिन क्या है, जो social, cultural, historical जो pressures हैं, जो चीजें हैं, ये हमें ज्यादातर मामलात में बहुत ज्यादा दुखी भी कर देती हैं, बहुत ज्यादा जो है वो हमें पेनफुल बनाती हैं, बहुत ज्यादा हमें जो है वो हॉरिबल बनाती हैं इन मामलात में. अदरवाइज हमें पता है कि जो डेथ है, इट विल कम. And he sees what he sees then. He says that enemy when hath no so many attendants about him that can win the combat of him. So death is not enemy, but there are many other things to think about it. Many attendants about him that can win the comeback of him. So if you feel so that there is only one enemy in the mind, that we will die only one time, you will die every time you think about it. Because there are many other things, many attendants about him that can win the combat of him. There are many other things that you can do. But if you are just thinking on about the self that we will die and this is the only weak fear in your mind, so that will kill you every day. Forget about it, and you have many other things to do. Revenge. Revenge triumphs over death. So it is the revenge. You know that sometimes in a revenge you kill someone and you feel satisfied. So this is the first category of that revenge triumphs over death, because you are killing someone, because if you feel so that that person has killed someone related to mine, or then you are also doing that. Revenge triumphs over death. Love slides it. It means that you know that if you are in a great revenge, in a rage of revenge, what will happen? You will just take your revenge, and then that revenge will triumph over the death. It will get a victory over the death. So now he is telling that how you can triumph over the revenge. Oh, sorry, death. Even though love slides it. Slides mean to make something smooth. To make something smooth. To make something easy. So love makes it more easy. You know that when you are in love with someone and then you do not care about to die, even though you can sacrifice yourself. The feelings of love, they are overwhelming, that you can even though commit suicide. And you can also remember that recently, I think 10 to 15 days ago, there was a video that got viral from India, and there was a Muslim girl. She was, I think that near a canal or a river. So she was about to commit suicide. So she actually called her parents at that time, and she said that okay, that person actually deceived me, and I'm just going to die. And that after that she committed suicide. So you see that love slides it. Love makes it smooth. Because the people who are in this feeling, in this type of feeling, they do not care about death anymore. It means that love is the second thing that can also win this fight, win this combat. Because he talks about there are many attendants about him that can win the combat of him. So these are revenge can win over the death. Love can win over the death. Honor, aspire to it. Honor. And what is honor? Do you know that soldiers, they are finding and aspiring the honors? Shaheed, Ghazi, Mujahid. The people, the soldiers, heroes, what they are doing? They are aspiring for the honor. They are going for, they want to achieve the dignity in their life. They want to achieve the honor in their life. They are going for it. Aspiring. Aspiring is a passion to achieve something. So they are going for it knowingly. And what is that? Triumph over the death. Very excellent. You see that this is the great about the great writers writing. It says that these are the things that
also be about honor killing.
honor killing is something else. Honor killing is something else. It can be, you can say, in the category of revenge. It can be in the category of revenge, but not in the category of honor, because honor aspires to it. And honor means that you are sacrificing yourself for any kind, for any sacred, for any holy act. Might be this sacrifice can be for your country, this can be for your people, this can be for your family. Okay? Then grief flies to it. Grief flies to it. I know that some people are just unmuting themselves just to remind me that there is waqt of azan and they have to go. I know that. If you feel so, then we can take break over here and we will read the next in the next class. What do you say? Because I think that
Yes, sir.
the time for Jummah prayer is actually after 2 or at least at 2, not 1.
1:30, sir.
Okay, then we can leave here, but yeah. You can also do one thing more, that on Jummah, you can arrange your class a little bit, 1 hour before the exact time. You can arrange it at 11:30. Because you know that, yeah, it can be arranged at 11:30 with everyone's consensus, because I have another class at 10:30, so I'll be taking that class after I'll be done with my first class, then we can continue the class at 11. So that will be a good idea. Okay? And I think that we must end right now here. But where we are? Yeah, only one line, just to complete this sentence. That is, grief flies to it. Flight means, this is an old English, that means fly. Fly. So grief flies to it. You know that sometimes when we feel that, okay, that death will come and the grief will gone. Death will come and grief will be gone. So that is grief flies to it. So grief will also fly with the death. Because if the person will not remain in the world, the grief will not remain with that person anymore. So grief will also be gone with the death. Fear preoccupies it. Nay, we read after, okay, now, because we will be going to talk about then the emperors and the imperial powers of the past, and then that thing will be a little bit complicated for you to understand right now, because we have less time, and then you know that desires remain unfinished. I would say that that is the most haunting thing. So we can start from here. Fear preoccupied, and it may we read after also the emperor had slain himself. So we can start from here. So yeah, if you need to ask anything, you can ask right now. Anyone?
Sir, please share the text with us.
Okay, okay. I'm just sending you. Sorry, I forgot about it. And even though nobody asked me about that as well, it's like after the class. In previous class, you have asked me to send the text as well, but I forgot about it. Okay, I'm just sending you right now. Okay, then it means no question at all, except this one.
No, sir.
Okay then, fine. So take care of yourself and your family, and pray me as well on this Juma prayer, so that my soaring thought may also get relieved from this pain. So till then, thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.
Allah Hafiz.